Alright guys and gals, welcome to video 2 of the SS Aquascapes maintenance series. Now, today what we're going to be doing is cleaning out this monstrosity. This is a 3-foot aquarium. It's actually 36 inches by 12 by 12. And if I remember correctly, it is a Mr. Aqua brand and it is not an Opti-White aquarium. It's just regular float glass, so kind of has a little green tinge, which means we have to keep up on the algae control because green algae and green glass just make a green aquarium. At any rate, we do have some algae issues in here. I don't know why. It's a guppy breeding aquarium, and guppies generally like nibble on the little algae before it gets out of control. But apparently I feed them too much and they don't want to eat the algae, so we're going to have to clean it out manually. Speaking of cleaning, we have a Fluval 107 that is filtering this aquarium, and we're going to have to clean that out as well, just to make sure that we don't have any nutrient issues that is leading to this algae problem. Now, if the camera will autofocus here, you will see we have also a mulm issue down here at the bottom. Oh my goodness, this part of the aquarium is just kind of where the flow, I don't know, settles. I guess that's what I'm looking for. It's the low flow area, and so all of the mulm sits right there. Now, that's good for the little Cory guys. I think there's one right here. Where's he at? Yeah, here's our little Cory fish right here, just sifting through the mulm, trying to find a little something to eat, but they're going to need a little bit of help to get this cleaned up. Now let me show you the extent of this algae problem. Looky right here at the filter inlet. It is just covered with hair algae, and it's growing at such a rate that I remove it daily and it just comes right back. The issue is so bad that we have virtually zero flow coming out of the filter. I know that the intake clogged is causing most of it, but I promise you, there's nothing coming out of here. You're just going to have to believe me. There's really no way to show you other than maybe the surface agitation you can see is barely flowing. Other issues in the aquarium that we have to address is this hair algae that's all over our Bucephalandra down here. You can see we've got just kind of an algae problem all around the aquarium. If we move up to the top here, you're going to see some algae issues right here. Again, hair algae. Now the cardinal plant is doing fantastic. Look at that beautiful little thing growing out of there. If I move down into the aquarium again, we have a bunch of Bucephalandra down here, and that kind of hair algae stuff is infested this area as well. So we've got a lot of maintenance to do in the guppy aquarium. Now here's how I'm going to take care of the maintenance on this aquarium. First off, we're going to remove as much algae as possible manually because it's easier to remove it while the water's full. I can see it. If it is embedded in the plants too much, we're going to have to snip the plants. Then I'm going to want to drain the water, so I'm going to use the siphon hose to take care of the mulm issue down on the bottom. Hopefully suck out as much of that as possible. I'm also going to trim this Pentatophyta. It looks cool, but it's a little overgrown. So I'm going to trim that up and kind of get it back to a manageable state. Of course, we're going to turn the filter off and clean that. Once the water is drained, I'm going to spray algae trouble areas with some hydrogen peroxide. Hopefully just final kill on the algae. Can you say kill on YouTube? I don't know. We're about to find out if I get canceled. Then I'm going to fill it back up with fresh RO water. I've already put some in buckets down here, which you can't see because it's kind of cold in Florida right now. I'm not going to tell you the temperature because you northerners will laugh at us, but the RO water coming out of the tap is too cold for the fishies. So we've got some RO water stored. Fill the aquarium back up. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. I'm going to put you on the montage kind of music thingy, and let's clean this thing up. All right, now that the aquarium is drained, we definitely still have an algae issue that we have to use the peroxide for. If I take you off the tripod and come up here, you can see we've got algae there, algae right here on this branch. Pretty much all the wood has algae. Some areas of the Bucephalandra do have algae as well. This piece of boost came off. It was down here somewhere. I don't really remember, but I'm going to glue it back on, maybe here, just kind of fill this area in. The boost has really grown a lot since the initial setup of this aquarium, so I am pretty happy with it, but we're going to spray some peroxide around here, get this algae stuff taken care of, and then we will slowly fill it back up with the RO water that is in these buckets here. It's not going to be enough to fill the entire aquarium, so we will do the RO drip straight from the tap, but with 10 gallons of water in here, putting some cold water from the tap's not going to make that big of a difference. I did notice there are a ton of little baby guppies, and it also appears that I have more Corydoras than I had before. I put 3 Corys in there. I've noticed at least 5, so I guess they have bred and grown up. Amazing what nature will do, huh? All right, let's get everything peroxided. Hopefully we can take care of this algae problem once and for all. And then we're gonna come down here and take care of our filter. Let's see how dirty it is. It is pretty molmy in here. I wouldn't say it's dirty, but there's a lot of mulm in there. Let's see what we got as far as the sponges go. Yeah, sponges are pretty nasty. Go ahead and get those rinsed out, kind of off camera though. All right, sponges are nice and clean, installed back in their tray. Now let's see what's going on with the rest of the canister. Oh boy, I can already tell you this is kind of nasty. I think the bag of Purigen is probably done. We'll have to replace that. The biomedia here, just molmy, not really dirty. Go ahead and rinse that out. Alright, let's pull out the next tray here and see what we got going on. Filter floss definitely needs to be replaced. And then we just have a sponge right here. This sponge is, of course, pretty dirty. We'll get it cleaned up. Alright, we got everything cleaned up here. You can see we have a new bag of Purigen right here. Just a tip, if you have a Fluval filter, if you're doing Purigen or something on the top, make sure you put it on the side that is not where the outlet is. That way you're not restricting any flow. We got that cover back on and we're ready to reinstall it on the aquarium. Drop the filter down here. I'm not cleaning the hoses. I will put a net over the outlet to catch any debris when we restart this, but that's all I do for my filter maintenance. Getting close to the end, guys. All we got to do is just let the aquarium fill up. I am filling it slowly for obvious reasons, because pure RO water, we need to make sure that the inhabitants, they are getting used to the new fresh water and not shocking them by filling it too soon. While we're waiting for the aquarium to fill, you might be asking what happened to all of the Java fern that we pulled out of the center where there was a bunch of algae. Well, I've cleaned off all the algae, we have treated it with peroxide, and now I'm propagating it for you guys. Stay tuned, guys. For those that have been following the channel, I am about to launch the website where you guys can buy all these fabulous plants. It took quite a while to fill up the aquarium, so as you see, it's the next day, slight wardrobe change. Let's take a look at the aquarium, see if it looks any better. Of course, that was a bit of a rhetorical question because the aquarium looks fabulous. The water's nice and clear. All the little fish are happy with their fresh water. We have our negative space back, which is kind of how this aquarium was designed, with a negative space behind the branches there. Kind of just a minimalistic look. The boost is much, much better with no algae in it. Looking good, looking fresh. There's a couple of little strings that are still there. If I bump the brightness up, you might be able to see it a little bit. But since it was treated with the hydrogen peroxide, it should be okay. Removing a bunch of that Java fern created a nice negative space where we can see the cardinal plant in the back. And then, of course, the main cardinal plant growing right up out of the water. I always love that immersed growth. Also, with all that Java fern removed, you can see all the anubias a lot better. Let me bump the ISO up for you a little bit. These dark shadowy areas of the aquarium make it hard to film, but yeah, looking really, really good down there. Rocks are nice and clean. We got that mulm taken care of down here, so the ground is looking a little bit better. I do wish this S. repens would fill in some more, but there's no root tabs or anything left under there. I probably need to fertilize it a little bit. And finally, everybody's favorite part of the aquarium is this big clump of boost over here on the side. Looking really good. There was a bunch of algae in this area right here, and of course we got that all taken care of. So, would you believe that in just one day? Well, I guess that's my cue to end the video since the timer has now shut the lights off on the aquarium. Well, I guess you couldn't have asked for a more timely ending. So that's going to wrap up the second video in this series of aquarium maintenance. Here's a little preview of another aquarium that's coming up later in the week. Might be the next video, might be further on. So make sure that you subscribe if you want to see more of this series, or if you just want to support the channel, you know what buttons to hit. Do appreciate you guys watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. Keep it short. Catch you on the next one.